Sometimes, man, you just get to where I can't figure this out. Like help me out. I'm trying to understand, dudes, what the hell is going on? So that's the name of this partnership. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. You already know the scoop. You already know it. You tell me. You tell me. Yeah. You tell me. Live.
Yeah, 30 birds in the house,
HDI. Live. You tell me. Live.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell y'all this. This is another episode of You Tell Me. But before I get into the particulars that is brought to you on the Pregame Network with yours truly, Uncle Neely, Philip Dukes, let me shout out the most ATL-ish I've ever seen. He got a Falcons, had an Outcast shirt, and drank out a red cup. It don't get no more ATL.
Man.
Philip Dukes, Dukes the Scoop, how you making it, brother? Welcome in on this Tuesday evening live. You tell me. First of all, tell me how you doing.
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's been a beautiful day, man. Just getting back in. Cam had a little workout today with the high school team. Only rising sixth grader that got to go work out with the high schoolers. So I'm excited. He excited, and shoot, it's been a beautiful day. How about you? How you doing, Unc?
Man, doing good. The weather been beautiful here in Boulder. You know, ain't been cold. One of those early mornings was a little nippy, but it's been mostly, man, toward the 70s and sunny each day. So been great weather, great times. Closing out this week, getting ready for spring break next week. Then we come back, you know, it's just on and popping all the way through the spring game, all the way through the draft. If you're checking in, this is You Tell Me live on Tuesday night. I see Firestone, Colorado in the building, Louisiana Glen. I think I saw Memphis 10. Decatur, where it's greater.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City is in. Look, y'all keep on shouting out where you're at and where you're from because we love to have y'all here. Keisha and Love, what to do? See you in the building. Deuce the Scoop, man, there's been so much happening in sports, just all around sports. I think I'm going to take it to the NFL first. And I want to do this one just to see maybe if Chico can stay quiet in the back while we do it. Because you know he loved to put on a Superman cape whenever Aaron Rodgers. Cam Hayward, you know, defensive captain, Pittsburgh Steelers. He's saying, look here, dog. This man need to make it mind up. You want to be a Steeler or not? Like all this foot drag and delaying. You want to come play here or you don't? You need to say something. We tired of waiting. You tell me, Dukes. Are people getting fed up and is it hurting the brain for Rodgers to be a teammate somewhere as long as this is taken?
I mean, it's one of those things where you're so used to it. Every year, it's a headline. As always, where is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Even if he's – I mean, you got to go back to when the retirement talk started toward the end of the regime, his time with the Packers. And, you know, every year for about the past 5 years, there's always been a prolonged question about what is Aaron Rodgers going to do. And I think it's a little bit of fatigue, not just on the part of some of the fans, but prospective teams that want to know. Like, it's like, look, bro, it ain't like you got a million options. What you trying to do? Now, to Aaron Rodgers' point, he set his life up in a way where he makes his decision when he gets ready. Yeah. He's a guy that marches to the tune or marches to the beat of his own drum. He's made that very clear. But at the same time, you got a guy like Cam Hayward, who's also a very tenured veteran, who's just like, look, bro, come on with it. And I think there may be a little bit of home cooking and a little bit of foreshadowing. And I don't think that's a question if there isn't real interest, if there isn't that part of it that says that he's seriously considering being a Steeler and not just from, you know, guys on the internet, on message boards or Reddit. I think it's some real smoke there. And I think with that being said, if I'm thinking about Aaron Rodgers, that may have prolonged it a little bit. If I'm thinking about the old Aaron Rodgers, that may have made it. That may have gone a little bit. That may have prolonged it. Yeah. But if I'm gonna go with my dog, Big Dog Chico's Aaron Rodgers, the one that probably turned over a new leaf yesterday, then maybe that pushes it a little forward. Like maybe Aaron Rodgers says, you know what? It don't take all day to do nothing, as they say. let me go ahead and sign with this team who's already got tools for me to be successful. When you think about adding a guy like DK Metcalf, also having probably one of the most dynamic young receivers on the other side of George Pickens. And I'm gonna hold that thought because that's gonna get into my you tell me. So you go, I'm gonna pass the ball to you, and you tell me what's your take on the situation.
Oh man, I got a couple of different stabs at it. Brace yourself, Chico. There really are positive stabs. I'm not going to attack your boy tonight. I do that on the morning run where you can defend yourself. One hand, God bless him. I'm about freedom.
Yeah.
You know, like I ain't finna tell no man he got to make a decision, announce a decision, and if something I wouldn't do. Like take your time, make it be the right fit, et cetera, and all that. I got no problem with this taking longer than other people think that it should take. No problem with that at all.
Right.
Having said that, Cam Hayward's comments could be taken with the positive slant or the negative slant. Let me go to positive slant. Dukes, chat, y'all remember the eve of Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve itself and your big mom and dad let you open just something?
Yeah.
I think Cam Hayward just want to open it, man. I just think he want to know he got the train set, and it really is he is. He want it now. He don't want it at Christmas. And that's a positive because that shows people are desiring what Rodgers brings to the table. On the negative side, I do think it could do what you suggested if Rodgers has not changed from a personality standpoint. Like, okay, you think I'm taking my time now? Watch this. Watch this. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, you want me to hurry up? Okay.
Okay.
See you in June. Like, see you the deadline. And from a Rodgers standpoint, here's what I really think is going on. I think the Steelers have kind of fallen to where they're the default team. That it just makes sense. You got Minnesota out there too as well, but Minnesota's already kind of leaked out there that they would want him to come in and be that mentor, supportive role, backup quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers is just like any other person that did it or still doing it or used to. He want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that Pittsburgh is couching that thing is like, no, dog, if you show up, it's your ball. Minnesota's like, no, we'll break you off a nice bag, but we just want you to show our guy how to be a pro, like Favre showed you. I don't think it's gonna fly. I think it's gonna be Pittsburgh, and I think he's gonna do it on his own timeline. And I don't think it's gonna tarnish his reputation none. And that's not to say this is not something that could tarnish it. I don't know how it can get worse.
Yeah, man.
From a locker room standpoint, everybody in the locker room know, okay, here come the culture killer, here come the vibe killer. We out having a good time, and the blue lights come on behind us, and everybody sober up real quick, get mad the night over. Like that's what he brings,
man.
But having said this, now I'm gonna say this to the Steelers fan, and I'm gonna wait on you. You tell me.
Okay.
My frat brother Mike Tomlin may never have had a losing record, and he's surely a first ballot Hall of Famer. But it's been a while since they won a playoff game, and Super Bowls are the standard. And if they believe Aaron Rodgers can get them a playoff game, get them a division win, whatever it is, he well worth the wait.
Agreed. And I was just going to your point as far as where it says him going into a mentor role. If there is a picture of somebody next to the acronym FTK, as in F them kids, what they call rookies kids, that's Aaron Rodgers. Don't ask me to babysit. I'm not picking them up from school. I don't even got no baby food in my house. Ain't no Cheez-Its, nothing. Ain't no juicy juice. That's Aaron Rodgers. So if there's if that's the sales pitch, you might as well told him you want him to come to be an offensive guard. He don't care nothing about nothing but his success and the team success. Now let me say that I do feel like he does care about the team success. So I think,
but I think he's caring about the team success. I ain't never met the man. I'm talking about the way it looks. His caring about the team success is my way. Like my way is the successful way, not your way. I'm gonna get us there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, speaking of that, talking about the team aspect, the Steelers probably have the most aggressive, violent, street fight YNs of wide receivers in the entire league. When you think about DK Metcalf and some of the tussles that he's been in, and George Pickens, these guys literally ain't taking nothing off nobody, especially George Pickens. George Pickens is one of the ones they call him NFL young boy.
Yeah.
How do you tell me if Aaron Rodgers is the pick, can he harness those talents of those wide receivers to keep them from going off on him? Because they've shown it don't matter. They're gonna go off if they feel in the right to go off, they going off. You tell me, how does Aaron Rodgers manage the relationships with two of the more outspoken, I'll say that's the word I'm using, outspoken wide receivers in the NFL?
Great question. Get them the damn ball, which benefits Aaron Rodgers as well. Get them the damn ball, get them their looks, get them their touches. And then also this offseason, should he sign before you get to OTAs and all that kind of stuff? Man, call up your man Adams, call up them two receivers, and let's all get on the Zoom. Let's all go have a beer or something. And let me show y'all how successful I could make YN receivers.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and because I think that's what they want. They want to be successful. And like Keyshawn used to say, Keyshawn Johnson, just give me the damn ball.
Right.
And I think Aaron Rodgers has, with his gunslinger personality, that he has the ability to make sure wide receivers know it's coming to you. Like I know how to spread this thing around. Run your route, be where you're going to be. It's going to be there when you turn your head, so turn your head with your hands up. Like he has that style of play. And you really just don't see in the history of his career a lot of backlash from his receivers getting mad at him. You know, every now and then it happens, just like it happens on any team. But, you know, you never just see people kicking over the Gatorade and cussing him out or something because he ain't doing what he said he was going to do. So I think the way off is in the out season with the workouts, letting them know you're on the same page, letting them know you're going to give them the ball, being aware of their contracts. Like, hey, dog, I need 50 for this. Don't throw me 40, ain't stop throwing to me.
Right.
Because it's a business and we in the business together. So I think you can navigate that part. But I do think now this is uncharted water. And you can look at the example of Anthony Edwards meeting Barack Obama. Like, okay, dog.
No.
They don't anything to anybody.
Yeah. 1,000% I agree. George Pickens, when I asked a couple of guys at UGA who was the best player they ever saw, and on the field at Athens, and we talking about guys that's in the league going crazy. Even Jalen Carter, and Jalen Carter is one of the ones that they all talk about being one of the best to ever walk through that door. George Pickens literally always comes up in conversation when you talk about the things, and they say the things that you see in the game are only a fraction of the things that they've seen him do at practice. But George Pickens also comes with an attitude like, listen, bro, all you got, and this is part of his problem with quarterbacks at times. All you got to do is get it anywhere around me. That's all.
Yeah.
George Pickens feels like I don't have to run the perfect route. You don't have to make the perfect pass. Get me the ball within my catch radius, and I'm gonna make a play. And we've seen him. I would say that his spectacular catch is on par with Travis Hunter's when it comes to contorting your body. Now, does he have the same flexibility of Travis? No. But he is a bigger target. So I would say when you talk about spectacular catch and just unrivaled ball skills, he's one of the top 5 in the NFL, period. And I think Travis Hunter goes into the NFL top 5 as well. But that being said, when he understands who he is, it doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. I don't care about your accolades. I don't care about how many Super Bowls you won. I don't care about who you threw the ball to before me. Get me the ball, which is in agreement with what you said. DK Metcalf, he's not even a volume receiver. He's like, look, you give me my 5 or 6 plays, let me get in rhythm. I hit my 90, I get my 4 for 90 and the tud, or let me get, maybe my 6 for 140 and the tud. I'm good. Like, it's never been like a strictly volume game with DK. It's always been opportunities. Just make sure I get my opportunities. You never heard there would be games in Seattle where they would go to Tyler Lockett, and then some games they would go to DK Metcalf. You never really heard about DK Metcalf just going off the rails. He may say things every now and then when they get to running the ball a little bit more, but he was never a target share guy where you're going to hear him. One thing I do know about DK Metcalf, he wants to win. And if that hasn't been evidenced, it's been evidenced by when you look at those chase down tackles that he makes on interceptions. the effort is going to be there. So as long as they feel, in my opinion, as long as those two guys feel like Aaron Rodgers is giving his best effort and also not being a distraction to the team to the point where, bro, don't go ask them a million questions about Aaron Rodgers. They're going to tell you how they feel. But as long as he comes in and realizes that he's a part of the team as well, then I think it'll go better than not. As long as they get the ball and he can acquiesce to the team. That's how I feel about it. All right, your turn, Unc.
Man, I love all that. And then when you really just nailed it, that ACT word acquiesce at the end. Boy, Deuce Cook, Outcast shirt, Falcons hat, red cup. He's in his bowl. I'm in my bag. He in his bowl.
Yeah.
Let it cook. Speaking of cooking, about 29 minutes before we go live, I got a text from my daughter, call from my daughter. She in the ATL. She was all excited. She said, the YouTube notifications work. I got a text message saying y'all going live in 30 minutes. Hey, I'm telling everybody, hit the bell notification, hit the thumbs up, like, hit the bell notification, and you'll never miss a live show. Because sometimes we be on CP, and you don't know when we're going live, but that bell going to let you know when producer Big Dog Chico has scheduled the show. So do like Jasmine. Hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, like, and you're going to know when we're there. I want to flip it to the NBA, dog.
Let's go.
Ho! Nuggets played the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets didn't have Murray, didn't have Joker. And they still won that game. I'm just trying to figure out, when Jimmy Butler got there, they're running hard, kicking everybody butt, running to a weak Nuggets team and can't do a damn thing. Is the honeymoon over in Golden State Warriors? Or was this just Russell Westbrook doing his thing and nothing to worry about?
I think it's not just Russell Westbrook, but I'd also say you got to think about the Nuggets. And the other day we just talked about this, and I said that the Nuggets are a team that nobody's talking about because you can be without those guys, and you still have guys with a championship pedigree that could be at least when you've got a fourth option that can be a number 2 on a playoff team and a number 1 on a let's say a play-in team like Aaron Gordon, who can say, all right, it's time for me to he goes off of 40 last night. What he had, 38? Aaron Gordon goes off. You could bring a first ballot Hall of Famer who still has some juice left off the bench in Russell Westbrook and say, okay, yeah, I can make a clutch play. I'm familiar with you guys. And I think sometimes, and I take it back to LA Fitness basketball. You ever see those games where you got the young guys who come in and they high flying and they crossing you up and they Euro stepping all over the gym, and you bring that group of grizzled veterans who've been going at they basically put the bricks down at that LA Fitness.
Yeah.
And when that 5 hooks up, they're going to play that the passes are going to be right, and they usually have one young guy with them, and that was my man. What's the kid name that was hitting them threes last night? Not Waldrop. Peyton Watson. Boom. Yeah. Peyton Watson had some really, really clutch baskets last night, especially early. But you put all these veterans together, and as you can see from the minutes, they basically ran with the same 4 all night.
Yeah.
You sprinkle in a little bit of youth and that veteran presence, and you get a win against a team who probably should have beat you. And I think that's all that happened last night. I think the Warriors ran into a really good team with a championship pedigree as they're still trying to figure it out. Steph Curry wasn't the same Steph Curry that we have been seeing as of late. And I think that when those shots go in, I don't know what the shooting percentage was, but it wasn't great. You don't want to get I think I would be, matter of fact, Chico, can you bring up the stats for 3-point percentage last night for the Warriors? You shoot 25% on threes, 24% on threes. It's a bad night for the Warriors. 8 out of 33 ain't gonna beat nobody. So they have to get more out of Buddy Hield as well. But I think going forward, you won't. I'll be willing to bet that you won't see that type of offensive performance from them in back-to-back nights. And they just ran up against a team that was ready for them, even without their best. What you think, Uncle Neil? You tell me.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with that, Chico. Let's not forget a super chat I saw come up, but I'm gonna respond to that. I think you're spot on. I'm gonna say it's an anomaly. You had a situation where the Warriors know who not playing for the Nuggets. and it's hard to get for a game that some kind of way you convince yourself don't mean much enough. We're gonna go out here and try to win, but man, whatever. On the flip side, the Nuggets like, dog, yeah,
Yeah.
This that one right here. Like my minute's been low all year because I'm behind Murray. My minute's been low all year because I'm not in the rotation with Joker. They both out. I'm finna play 35 plus. Oh, in the words of Loaded Lux, you gonna get this work. No. He gonna get this work.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to work off it.
Right.
And then when Steph's shot ain't falling, this and that happen, you look up, you leave. But what do I always say this time of year? We get to March. The tournament, you can beat anybody playing them one time.
Yeah.
In May and June, man, you got to do this 4 times.
Yeah.
A Nuggets team without Joker and Murray ain't beating the Warriors 4 times. Like you do it on a Monday night in March. You can't do that later on. So I'm gonna chalk it up as an anomaly. I don't think the honeymoon is over. I think Jimmy Buckets absolutely made this team better. I don't necessarily agree with Draymond when he said that with this edition ain't going all the way, ain't gonna win it all. I think Jimmy Butler made their team better. And last night was a flash in the pan. You wouldn't beat them again without them two. There you go, Loaded Lux.
Loaded Lux. He gonna get this work. Yeah, I like that one. Okay,
but let's do Dukes. Let's do that super chat that went by. Here we go. Big Pit, $5 super chat. Well, first of all, Big Kid, we appreciate your views. Appreciate you always being a part of the family. Where you tell me the morning run, Uncle Chico live. Shout out to Big Pit. Big Pit says Aaron Rodgers would guarantee Mike Tomlin his first losing season. Chico, you better not say a word. You better just get this work.
Man, hold up. I see something in the chat. Hold on, let me check this out. Hold up, make sure. Hold on, you tell me. Hold on, y'all give me 1 second. I just want to make sure that I got some. This information is correct. You see that?
Let me also want to give Chico a shout out. Like we always say on You Tell Me, Dukes and I don't exchange our questions, our You Tell Me's before the show. So when you see the producer getting that stuff up on the screen in real time, shout out to Big Dog Chico because this is his first time hearing this stuff too. And he be ready on the go. Now, I probably should have waited to after the show to compliment him because last time I complimented the sound man doing the show, we ain't seen the sound man since. So I probably should have done that. But Chico, you're doing a hell of a job.
All right, so I couldn't find no confirmation, but there's a comment in the chat that we may be able to get to later on that says Byron Leftwich is our new quarterback coach. Yes, sir. So I wanted to go see because I don't have any inside information on that. So I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. But like you were looking at my shirt, I'm looking at your shirt. The greatest of all time.
G-O-T. G-O-A-T, my bad. I spelled like Chico.
Muhammad Ali. Right. So that's the G-O-A-T.
Yeah.
The term now that people are using is G-W-O-A-T, which is Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to women's boxing, if you had to rank who would win a fight that you had to bet on, Clarissa Shields, Ann Wolfe, or Layla Ali?
All right, so let me tell you this, dog. You done drove down the road, blew your horn, I got to wave at you. Matter of fact, before you hit that bend, man, come on back, man. Come on, sit the field. I love boxing.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of them answers, man, that ain't no right answer. Because everybody just got what they feel, and these are different eras and different styles. And man, my heart and my eyeball test, Lord knows I want to say Layla Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see the quote and them body shots,
yeah,
my Lord. Even the tree fall when you chop it long enough. Shields is special, man.
Yeah.
Shields is special. I really can't take anything from her. Like, again, I want to say Layla, even when you put Wolf in, I want to say Layla. But I can't take anything from what Clarissa Shields is doing. And I'm going to have to give her the edge. Because I tell you this, one thing that has evolved in women's boxing, Layla Ali was the kind of start of it. It used to be this like finesse and jab game. And Layla was one of the first people who turned up the intensity and like, no, this is a violent sport.
Mm-hmm.
But what Clarissa has done from a violent sport standpoint, we have never seen before.
Mm.
She fight like, in other words, like we say at Jim Hill, she fight like a dude. Hey, man, hey, that girl will whoop your ass. She fight like a dude.
Right.
So,
man. So I'm gonna just go with.
You know what? I got the GOAT shirt on, man. I'm gonna go with this dog. I'm gonna go with Layla. I'm gonna put my money on Clarissa though.
Okay, I like that. So when it comes to technical boxing, to outpoint you, I will probably go with Clarissa. Just because, like you said, those body shots, the way she delivers, which on or off platform, she's delivering shots technically that you see like the turn of the wrist, when she's getting over the punch, when she's twisting her hips, rocking from her core, stepping into her punches, rolling. Like she's really a good. She really has a good base as a technical boxer.
Yep.
All right. When it comes to charisma, we know that sometimes when you have evenly matched opponents, that charisma, that dog mentality can get you to where you need to be. So if it came to one of those type of fights, I would probably go with Layla Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But if we just got to fight, I'm going with Ann Wolf.
Okay.
Reason being, man, and it was something in Ann Wolf that just looked different about her. And I wish that she would have got a shot at Layla Ali just so for us. I think that would have been good. It would have been more so. And I think that fight could have been like a Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson type deal where Lennox Lewis was just too good of a technical boxer. But when you just talk about raw power and really looking like she didn't like the person on the other side of her, like real live hate.
Yeah.
Even when I saw her training my man, what's my man name from Texas that she was training? She became his trainer. He was a good. Dang, I'm gonna pull his name in a minute. But when I saw her training him with unconventional tactics, like had him pushing tires, that had him in the field, I'm like, man, this lady is different. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Ann Wolf just for the fight, and I also wanted to take the opportunity to show her some love, and that was one of my favorite female boxers.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat. I like that take, man. I can't really push back on that too much. I like that take, Dukes. Somebody in the chat said that Layla's prime was short-lived. Layla's prime was short-lived because she ran out of asses to whoop. It was the early days where this was really getting some money behind it. And so at some point, when you run out of fights and then you start getting older, the calendar gets in the way, and much like delayed fights on the men's side, they end up fighting and somebody is no longer in their prime, because it took 2 or 3 years for this fight to take place. And in those 2 or 3 years, you only fought once because there wasn't nobody to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Just is what it is. That's why, in a lot of these GOAT conversations, what would happen is hard to compare eras, different timelines against each other because there's so many other, nuances. You look at the guy whose shirt I got on. What if they never took his license for not going to the draft? I mean, what if Mike Tyson never went to prison?
What if Mike never went to prison?
I mean, my God, like it wouldn't be no Lennox Lewis's and Evanders. So we all speculate, but I can't debate Ann Wolf and that nastiness, man. Just like
yeah, man.
I can't debate it.
No, for sure.
I can't.
All right, it's on you. No look, no look, no sound.
Look, I'm gonna take it to see you.
All right.
On the most recent episode of The Morning Run, had a great sit down with Colorado linebackers coach Andre Hart, who's been with Coach Prime since the youth football days and coaching at Trinity Jackson State as well, now here in Colorado. Great interview that you and Chico did with him. about 16 minutes or so. It's on Big Dog Chico channel on the replay, just that clip. Make sure you check it out. After that conversation with Coach Hart and coming off the linebacker play the past couple of years here at Colorado, you tell me, what's your confidence level in the linebackers for Colorado for 2025?
Man, here after talking to Coach Hart yesterday, man, it is very high. I think what you brought in the transfer portal, like he said, like he talked about that athleticism that he was able to bring, the room definitely got more athletic. Reggie Hughes and what's my other guy's name? From Memphis.
Yeah, I can see his face. My bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
French, Martavius French. Those guys bring a brand of athleticism that we haven't seen in the linebacker room. And then to hear him talk, is it Jeremiah Brown? He said stepped up.
Yeah, JB has really stepped up.
So I know for a fact that they wanted to. Hold on, whoa! Somebody said Doc Robinson, DeWitt Walker, Dukes. Oh man, I got to talk about that. And that stopped the whole show. That's Dean Franklin. What's up, Dean? All right, my bad. Sorry. All right, so from him to talk about what JB was able to do, I know for a fact that they were looking for that guy. I asked that question. That's why he looked like that, because I know that they were looking for that green dot guy. Yeah. If he becomes that guy who's gained the respect of that locker room, and now he's the guy that not only is he being a good player and he's making sure he cleans up everything and people are in the right position, but now it's almost like having a guy who's able to send missiles at you. So imagine having a guy who can already fight, but he got rockets on the side. So he's just going to line up these rockets that you can rotate at their weak side spot and be able to blitz to get to the quarterback. And that's the thing that I like the most. He said they're getting home on blitzes. Now, when you can get home on the blitz and you have an athletic defensive line, sending 5 would be like sending 6 in the year prior. And when you can send 5 and you can leave 6 in coverage, that makes you a dangerous team, especially when your 5 is like your 0 blitz. So I'm very confident, especially after that conversation with Coach Hart. You tell me, how confident are you?
Scale of 1 to 10, 8.5, 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for multiple reasons. One, I totally believe in the coach himself, Andre Hart. And he's more than a coach. He's a teacher. He's a tactician. He's a technician. He teaches the why. He gets you to understand, being patient, that let the play start to develop. Don't guess, because your job, if you guess wrong, you just gave up a touchdown. He teaches all those nuances. And I think for the first time in particularly his Colorado career, that he has some decisions to make. I think in the past, it was so clear who the starter was going to be because they were so far beyond the rest of the room that you had to have that guy and you had to have him healthy all the time and ready to play all the time. That's why you saw Bentley out there on a bad foot, because Bentley on a bad foot was better than 2 or 3 guys behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, and I think he said it to y'all, to you and Chico. Now, I don't have no 3s. This is just 1s and 2s, and I don't know who's going to be who yet.
Mm.
And that's a good problem.
Great problem.
A lot of times you get in these situations, you like, oh, it's between Neely and Chico. Oh, it's Neely. No, I got it. This is an easy decision. And they say, man, it's Neely and Deuce. Like, oh, man, let me sleep on it. There's a shot at Chico. I always got to put one of them in there. But I think what he has in his room now, talent-wise, depth-wise, coachable-wise, you have now more depth at D-line in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
As Warren Sapp said today in his presser, I got 8. I can send 8. I can change them all out. That takes a lot of load off the linebackers. You have a secondary under coach with Kevin Mathis and also Coach Rob Livingston coaching the safeties, that the talent has stayed the same or maybe even upgraded. That's where the absence of Travis Hunter is a complete unit. I think the linebackers this year are going to be able to feast off of being blessed to be in the middle of those 2 groups, augmented with more talent, more depth than Andre Hart. I'm predicting them to have a big year this year.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and it's funny because the number in my mind was 8.5, 9. When I look at what they have versus what they had last year, no disrespect, but the linebacker position has to be twitchy. And what I love what Coach Hart said was he gave me so much game, and me and Chico so much game. But when he broke it down to saying that teams are going to combat that extra safety, that big safety who can run with the traditional two-back set.
Yeah.
The way Colorado was positioned with having athletic guys who can go get your scat back or play your slot, and also still have that traditional Mike who's gonna come down and make contact. That's like seeing another defensive lineman on the second level.
Absolutely.
And that makes a huge difference when that guard comes around the pool and he ain't got lunchtime. He's got to really bring it. So I think
and he weighing 245, 250 for real, not 225.
Come on. Yeah. Like it ain't child's play. So I think that makes a huge difference. And it's also a testament to the recruiting that Coach Hart has done and him being able to trust his own eyes. Because there are people that don't want certain players. We don't want this traditional guy. We don't want an athlete to play will. We need this. We need that. And he went and mixed and matched and put together a linebacker room that I'm willing to bet if it's not top 2, then it ain't top nothing in the Big 12 this year when you talk about linebacker rooms top to bottom. So
like that.
Great job.
That verbiage, that language reminds me of that bet with you and Chico, $1,000 to 1. But you bet if it ain't top 2, it ain't top nothing. But we're gonna be 1 or 2, or we ain't gonna be mentioned.
Yeah, no, for sure. If that ain't top 2, then it ain't no list.
Yeah. I like that. I feel good about that room, man. I think it's been a true upgrade. I think so much, rightly so, attention is putting on O-line and D-line because if you can't win there, you can't win in football. That people don't appreciate the upgrades that were made in the linebacker room. So it was great having Coach Hart on the show. Saw Coach Hart in the building this afternoon, and he said, man, even his mama sent him the link acting like he ain't seen it because he was on it.
Yeah.
I know you watch. He said his mama said it. If it's a lie, Coach Hart told it. Because he told me. He said his mama said, yeah, I watched the morning run. I'm going to watch all them shows.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah.
Man,
Mama Hart taking it in from Dallas watching.
Man, speaking of watching, I want to take this little moment before I get into my You Tell Me. I want to give a shout out to Darren Franklin. Chico, if you could, real quick, it's a comment in there from Darren Franklin. It's a few up. I want you to put that on, and I gotta shout him out. So this is a full circle moment. There we go. This is a full circle moment for me. Darren Franklin is a legend where we from. He taught with my mama at Tri-Cities High School in East Point. He was assistant principal at the time when I was a 9th grader at Tri-Cities. This is a guy who's well respected, I think, and went on to become a principal, but a guy that's well respected where we from. The toughest of the tough, he had them, dealt with them, and we had some real problems going on our side of town during that era when I was coming up. And he was a guy that was able to sit people down and say, bro, like, if you don't change what you're doing, it ain't gonna be school that you skipping. You're gonna be skipping a lot of life because you're gonna be behind them. You're gonna be either pushing up daisies or you're gonna be behind that wall. And he was a guy who could actually get through to him. So to see him hearing from me, and he's not on my channel. This is your channel. So to see your outreach being able to bring my community together, that's just a full circle moment for me. And I want to tell you, I appreciate that, Uncle Neil. Appreciate you too, Uncle Dean Franklin, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Dean Franklin, man. Sound like you was one of them problems that he said that.
Hey, I tell you, I was a teacher's son. You know, they got to show out.
Yeah, teacher's son and preacher's son.
Woo!
Hey, but preacher's daughters are the best.
Oh Lord!
you get you a preacher's daughter, but you got you some.
Man, hey, he gonna get his work.
He gonna get this work,
man. Okay, so you tell me.
Let's do it
right now. What's been the most? I would say, what player outside of Jeremiah Brown has impressed you the most so far in Colorado's practices? It could be anybody. I don't care. But from what you've seen, who's impressed you the most?
I can't even wait to answer. I'm interrupting you. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
I know y'all think I'm going to say Juju. I know y'all think I'm going to say Salty. I know y'all think I'm going to say Farrakhan. I get it. Q for 6. I know y'all think I'm going to say that. But I ain't. Taj McCoy. What's the day?
That's number 40.
Yeah. What's the day? Whatever the day is, write down the date and time that on You Tell Me, Uncle Neely told y'all. All conference. Gonna make some noise. Man, he is not a child anymore. He came here a little kid, and a year later, you're a grown-ass man. And when Hilo and his defensive staff with Sapp, etc., get some more mold in that clay around him, woo! Y'all remember the name Taj McCoy? I'm standing on it. I'm guaranteed.
Man, dog, it's funny you said that, man. I'm almost like it's getting weird. It's getting weird at this point. Neil, I ain't talked to you about no football all day.
No, absolutely not.
Man, I ain't even dropped it yet, but I got a breakdown about who I thought was going to be good this year. And Taj McCoy, I didn't even know his name. I saw number 40 keep flashing. Every time I'm watching something, I'm watching 40. I'm watching 40. I'm like, hold on, let me go find out who this guy is. Then I get reminded. The number 563rd player in his class, maybe not even a on 3 top 300. Somebody that Colorado identified and said, you know what, this is a guy, but it's gonna take some development. Mm-hmm. And I broke it down as far as where he goes. So be looking for that next Colorado video on the channel, and you're gonna see it here too, because everything is interchangeable in this network. Pregame, Big Dog Chico, and the Scoop. But when I tell you this guy, the more video I watched, the more I saw of him. Then I did a little bit of digging, and you are not alone when you say that this is a guy that is proven that he's going to deserve some of the snaps that he will get, and more of the snaps. I saw him against UCF last year, and then in the bowl game, I think he had a sack as well. I'm telling you, he ended up with 4 sacks last year. This guy, he's really going to help Colorado, and I could not believe. I don't know if you saw my face when you said that. I felt like you stole my answer, man. Like,
hey, man, I was doing what I always do, Dukes. I was answering sincerely, and what you saw when you posed the question, I couldn't wait to answer.
Yeah,
because I believe it, and I believe him that much that it was like, oh, I can tell you that right now. I can tell you who's blowing me away. I can tell you who is absolutely doing that thing, making the most of their reps, which is only going to lead to more reps, is only going to lead to more trust from the coaches, who mean he's absolutely going to be on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of those guys. This is gonna sound like a. This is gonna sound like corny or off or something, because he ends up by the ball. But if you watch football and all you do is watch the ball, you miss the brilliance of a Taj McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he does by being set before the center's hand is on the ball, his get off when the ball is snapped. And so if you're just watching the center to the quarterback, and the quarterback, rolling left or right and not looking at where number 40 is coming from, you're missing a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're absolutely missing. Like you'll see him when he's at the quarterback, but you didn't see what he did to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So this spring game, April 19th, is going to be televised ESPN2. Watch when he's out there. This kid is special. Came back bigger, faster, stronger. No longer this little kid out of high school, grown-ass man and playing like it, and only is getting better across the spring.
Wow. That's all right there, man. All right, it's all you want.
There he is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, in that middle picture, he like his Uncle Chico. He got the Afro Studies haircut. Yeah, y'all go follow him on it. It's on me. It's on me. It's on me. It's on me.
Chico gonna be ready tomorrow.
Whoo! Let's go ahead and go to the draft, because one thing that I'm gonna quote Big Dog Chico on, they watching. Because every now and then you hear things out there, see things out there, they let you know they watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, if Mel Kiper didn't take my whole damn comment on why Shedeur Sanders fits with the Giants, from the lights, the cameras, the action, to having played under duress for 3 years and with different coordinators for 4 years, all of that, he'd be successful.
Okay.
The Kiper, like, man, you not only say what I said, you said it in the order I said it. like remix that thing if you're gonna bite, Hey, I come from the era when rap was called biting, when you take somebody else's rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
But as we look at this draft, and there's been a whole lot of stuff taking place and narratives changing, et cetera, has anything changed for you, Dukes? You tell me, where do you see Shadeur's fit after some weeks have gone by? You tell me.
Right there. I still see it in Giants blue. I just think that I think one of the holdups for Aaron Rodgers is I think he goes to New York. What absolutely. I think he's already set up, familiar with the town. He's across the river, so to speak, with the Jets. That's the easiest transition for him to make, to go not even that far and be in a whole totally different conference with one of the top young receivers in the NFL, where he could be the guy. But I think the Giants haven't been able to commit to saying it's just going to be you, and if we get a guy, he'll be late round, or we'll commit to you for multiple years, because they actually have an opportunity to go get a Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
See, I believe if Pittsburgh was in the top 5, I don't think there's the same disposition. And right now, with the Giants having that number 3 pick and not being able to say we're coming out and say we're just not drafting him. And of course, there may be some smoke signals there, so nobody tries to take advantage of them, or the Titans or the Browns do anything that would make them jump up to go get a Shedeur.
Sure.
But as things stand, in my opinion, I don't think the Giants have committed to the fact that they won't draft Shedeur, and I think that's part of the holdup with Aaron Rodgers signing with them in the first place. And so right now, I'm gonna stick to what I've been speaking to the whole time, even knowing that I've talked to people in the Giants front office earlier in the year. I mean, this is back when I came to the last time you saw me in Colorado. About a week later, I had a guy from the Giants, because when I was there was when they brought a good bit of their front office. I know you remember that with Sean and all those guys came.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy in their front office who didn't make that trip. That was a big concern. I was like, hey, man, do you think they're going to get rid of everybody? Or, if Shedeur come, are they going to force everybody out the building? I'm like, I got no clue, brother. But that thought didn't come from anywhere.
Yeah.
The Giants have been watching Shedeur and if I were to guess, they spent at least as much or more time with that family than anybody else in the NFL. At least as much. Because there have been teams that have been all over Shedeur, of course. But that team has spent and invested a ton of resources in doing their research on this guy. I think it's the Giants still. And if not, I'd be shocked that they would want to waste that type of capital that they have, because they've been all over Shedeur. You tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, I think people learn from their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
When Hard Knocks showed how they operated on Saquon Barkley, I don't think they're interested in operating too publicly no more. So a lot of what you see them operating has been private, like you've been privy to when your trip out here to Colorado, and I've been privy to and talking to Coach Prime about it. In the words of Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson, a great orator, gentleman, statesman of our time and generation, when he so eloquently said, even if you're down with my crew, I bite them too. So they biting, they biting. And I just think it's a great fit. I think that the lights, the cameras, the action, the glitz and the glam, he's built for it. It's not a distraction. Big market media is not a distraction. He's been on Times Square billboards already, been there, done that all of his life. Clearly a talented quarterback, clearly the best quarterback in the draft. And now you get to go to the capital of the world, the media and marketing capital of the world. Great fit. But let me go to a football fit. Let me give you some names.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Daniel. What name fits next to them better? Shedeur Sanders or Aaron Rodgers? You got to play for the future of the NFC East. And the future is now. Because even though Dak is up there compared to the other two, you got two great young quarterbacks in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in a 40-year-old, what are you going to do, 1 year?
Yeah.
2 tops?
Yeah.
And your neighbor's house still getting better and yours falling in?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to compete in this division and lay your foundation to win this division in years to come, you got to go with the younger quarterback now. When I look at with all attention, everything that comes with New York and that market and that space, I think it's a great fit. I just absolutely do. And we ain't even talking about neighbors.
Ain't even talked about Neighbors. Man.
Got a weapon.
Baby Chase. Them LSU receivers different, man. I don't know what they got going on in LSU.
Yeah.
But them receivers been a whole lot different. You look at what Brian Thomas was able to do last year. Nobody talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy just went out there and went crazy on the league. So when you think about Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase, you think about Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. I mean, the elder statesman is Odell Beckham. I mean, like LSU receivers been going crazy.
Yeah. I think it's an iron sharpens iron thing because their DBs went crazy.
Yep.
And you practicing against the best. One thing I always say, and this is not taking anything away from Coach Prime Deion Sanders. This is giving him flowers. Look at who, the minute he stepped in the league in Atlanta, just at practice, who he was practicing against every day.
Right.
You gotta stop Andre Rison. You gotta stop Jerry Rice. You gotta stop Michael Irvin. Man, Sunday easy.
Sunday easy.
Look, you know what I've been doing since Tuesday? You want me to come out here and play this dude? Come on, man. I've already done my work.
As they say in Atlanta, none for 1,000. None.
$1 for 1,000 if you Chico. Chico, speaking of, I saw we had a super chat go by. Put that one back up for me. I'm going to make sure we don't miss no super chats on You Tell Me Live on Tuesday nights. And if you're in the chat, hit that like button. That's that thumbs up. And also turn your notification bells on. That way you won't miss. Brent Ware with the $9.99 super chat. He says, we need more videos of Chef cooking. I love the different point of view. I think that's what it is. You take in your videos, giving light to regular folk. I love how you introduced us to the meals, breakfast, lunch, and then, oh, man, much love. Appreciate that. You know, as Coach Prime has said, man, anybody that touches this program is important to this program. If you interact with his student athletes, with his kids, as he calls them, you are important. And so to show that meal prep and what the chef and his staff does and getting these boys fed and the calorie intake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're going to continue to show that, man. Chef Solomon, we're working hard. They got this show called Beat Bobby Flay. We're going to try to get Chef Solomon on there to go against Bobby Flay. It's some good things going on in Colorado football. I got a You Tell Me coming up that's about the Nike coaches. That's who you see in there eating the seafood bowl. But one of the coaches even said, man, that this ain't nowhere in America is a training table like this for football players. Like this is restaurant quality food cooked with love, buffet style, to-go plate style. Chef Solomon lays it down, man. So we're going to always show you them stories when we're there.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I eat at a lot of nice restaurants. That picture from when I went out there and got a chance to taste some of their food, it rivaled. My plate that day rivaled any plate that I had over the past year. Man, I think I had salmon and a ribeye. All you can eat, first of all.
Yeah.
Salad, dessert, and they had healthy options.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's different out there, my brother.
Absolutely, it is.
Now, look, I'm gonna steal your thunder a little bit because it's crazy. My next question was about that too, and and this is what my question that I'm formulated a little bit differently. So in Atlanta, there's this football group called Fear None in Georgia High School, and that's all the parents with all the top players in the city of Atlanta. They all go there and they talk trash about they just, they kind of rib each other up, but they all there to support each other's children. But it's the top kids and their parents. There's a picture of Coach Niblett from Gainesville High School. They probably have, outside of Beaufort, they probably got the best facilities. They're building the best facilities in Georgia. Sure. I think 3 schools: Carrollton, Gainesville, and Beaufort. But Josh Niblett's there, and they call him. They slick call him White Prime because he comes to the, look good, feel good, swagged out, very, very, and very positive, and don't care about what nobody say about him. And he's done an excellent job. He's got, if Tyler Atkinson is one, then he's got 1B as a defensive player in the country, and Xavier Griffin at that team. There's also a ton of other kids out there. Aiden Kane is another one who I could foresee Colorado offering as he's committed to Duke now. You tell me, recruiting wise, how important was hosting all of those coaches at that camp for Colorado practice?
I'm gonna do this, Dukes. Didn't know this question was coming. I want to talk about the Nike Elite Camp with you, but I wasn't phrasing it the way you just so eloquently phrased it to me. Chico, pull up the pregame show Instagram, the most recent post. And I want to just play that before I answer. Because I think if we hear from some of these top high school coaches on what they thought and the impact that they can have on us recruiting their players and word of mouth, them going back talking about their experience at our facility, in our dining hall, in our building. Because one thing Coach Prime did, Dukes, and if you watch the pregame show network and look at the episode we did on the Nike Elite Camp, you hear Coach Prime telling them, go get on the drills, walk around the building, go where you want to go. If you want to go see this, go see it. Every door is unlocked. We ain't got nothing to hide. And you hear Josh Nibley say, man, they don't do that everywhere we go. They show you what they want to show you. I'm gonna shut up and let them talk. All right, Chico, get the volume up.
High school coaches, especially when you got that kind of treatment to where they allow you to be able to kind of come and do and see and learn. And it's pretty special, but we appreciate it for sure.
And I see you taking notes.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm always taking notes. Hey, you're either growing and learning or you're not.
All right, Coach, talk to us about the importance, why you want to be here, and appreciation to be here.
Man, first of all, I just, give it up to Coach Prime and the staff. I mean, treating us, like kings out here. I mean, just open access to a lot of things and just getting nuggets here and there. But the fact you get to get on a college campus and learn from a group of men like this is immeasurable. You know what I mean? Just the fundamentals, the talk, any information we need is kind of just open access to it, and it's going to help us as we go back to our programs.
And I know you had an interest in the linebacker, so I'm not going to hold you up. Let you get to it.
Hey, you good? Ain't no problem, man. Anytime.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Trez, 38 played for me.
Okay.
In Mata.
Yeah.
So Coach Prime's Hispanic son. That's my dog, man. They go play ball for me.
Hey, Chico, let it start again so they can hear Nebula in the
Wow. First of all, to God be the glory, man. Just to have an opportunity to be here and just the spirit here, the energy here. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I've been looking forward to this because, I've always kind of wanted to see Colorado up close, but Deion's a dear friend of mine, and I think a lot of him, but the culture here, it's unbelievable. It's been awesome to get to be a part of it.
You guys have been getting open access, Go anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, and you don't get that everywhere. And so you can feel like you're part of the family when you're here as soon as you step in the door. And that's something special to high school coaches, especially when you got that kind of treatment to where they allow you to be able to kind of come and do and see and learn. And it's pretty special, but we appreciate it for sure.
And I see you taking notes.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm always taking notes. Hey, you're either growing and learning or you're not.
All right, Coach, talk to us about the importance, why you want to be here. Here, Chico. There you go. So Dukes, to answer your question, you have some of the most premier coaches across America, about 45 of them, in your facility, seeing you how to operate, talking to your coaching staff, not just your head coach, which was very important, but they met with nutrition. They met with the dietitian. They met with strength and conditioning. They met with the logistics people and operations. Us sharing with them how we do things and them asking and sharing with us how they do things. If y'all don't understand, if you got the top 45 coaches in the nation, that means they probably some of the top 45 high schools in the nation, and they got dogs. Even just then, you had the coach say, yeah, Montrez Walker and Mata, I coached them in high school. They here. The opportunity this partnership with Nike did to host this Nike Elite Coaches Clinic for 2 days in Colorado, I don't think you could put a dollar value on it. I don't think if you say, hey, man, how much would you pay to have 45 of the top coaches from the top schools for 2 days in your building hanging out with your staff? I don't know the amount you can come up with.
Man, that's so crazy. Oh, man, do you realize I shouted out 3 of the top programs in Georgia. I said Gainesville and Buford, they all got the best facilities in the state. And I'd be doggone if 2 of them 3 you didn't have on. And I on everything.
And we ain't talked about this. And we ain't talked about this.
No, not at all. You had 2. You had at where?
And when that fast forwards up a little bit, Chico, Coach Prime went and shook every one of their hands down the line and met with them, did a Q&A with them. No one can say, hey, yeah, I went, but I ain't get to talk to him. I ain't get to talk to staff. He opened every door, turned over every stone, said, this y'all building for 48 hours. Do what you want to do.
No, he ain't lying. What is, I'm saying, man, he ain't lying. But now, man, when you think about, and then Buford, there's familiarity already when you got 2 of your players on the roster already. And then you think about what they got coming. Buford's got Ty Boogie, Tashawn White, baller. They got Nasir McCoy, baller. Like, these are guys who are top 100 players in the state. They probably got the best safety duo in the entire country. And that's not just based off football. That's based off the rankings as well. So being able to have your head coach to bring that back, already having Montrez out there, I mean, that says a lot. So, man, shout out to Coach Prime for doing it a little bit differently, but still doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah. And just that personal touch, man, because, you know, one of the things that we forget about being around him so much and talking so often, that still is Deion, MF, and Sanders.
Yeah.
You know, that's still an A1, A-list celebrity. And when you're around him, you see how other people look at him, and you forget that he that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to take that time and make sure, no, I'm gonna hit every hand in here. We got the full Q&A session with the coaches dropping this week on the pregame network, where you get to see the sit-down meeting he did with them, taking the questions. You see Pat Sherman, the offensive coordinator. The coordinators were made available. The position coaches were made available. If you want to go to the offense, defense, or special teams meeting, that's Prime right there saying now, no, y'all go on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hit the sideline. Like, go to the drills. Take, you know, do this your building. Do your thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, this over here, man.
I was probably about crazy, man.
No, ain't no doubt.
Yeah, man.
Doing good, man. Happy for you, man. Rooting for you. Happy for you.
Ain't no doubt. Business is booming.
Yeah, man. Business is booming, man. That's all right there.
Well, you know, we're at the top of the hour. I had one more, you tell me.
I ain't got no curfew.
I ain't either. At this week's press conference, Coach Prime mentioned we got 2 more coming. We got 2 more coming. And they're going to be some head turners. They're going to make some folks mad. He said, Neely know who they are. But you tell me, Dukes, what Prime got up his sleeve, man?
Hey, man, I don't know. But I tell you what, okay, I got one for you. All right, so cool. Josh Pate, college football analyst. You know, a lot of people know him. So we did a show. I dropped it a little earlier, right? And I asked Josh Pate, how would he recruit using all of the NFL experience that Coach Prime has? And I asked him a couple questions about Colorado. When I tell you, this is probably the most praise that I've ever heard him give a program, especially one with 9 wins. I mean, he literally, and Coach Prime himself. But one thing he did say was, he said, how do you not give Colorado a look when you look at all the NFL experience? And Coach Prime could tell you, what's your real goal? Because if that's truly your goal, why not come to Colorado? And this is what he said he would say. And if he was a guy, what he would be listening to. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at college football analysts. I'm talking to recruits who are serious about their craft, and I'm looking at Deion Sanders and the way that he's already stated that he wants to recruit. I'll say this. I don't know. Neely know. Dukes don't know. But what I do know is this. I wouldn't break I wouldn't try to fix nothing that ain't broken. So I think at least one of these hires that he's talking about has to have NFL experience. That's what I would say.
I like that. I'll tell you this. They both have it, and they're on different sides of the ball. One is on offense, one is on defense. And they're gonna be valuable to the program. I don't want to say they're gonna be program changers, because the program has already changed and head in the right direction, but they're gonna be program catalysts. Helping the way we're gonna go much further and be improved on both sides of the ball because of these the presence of these two new men as they roll out in the next day and next week. So it's just phenomenal, Dukes. And when you talk about, what parents are saying out there, or scouts are saying out there about this program, let me share this with you about somebody serious going to the league. When Coach Prime was first putting his staff together, one of the things I said to him was, dog, with this staff,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have people turning down scholarships to play somewhere else to be a walk-on here. Because the what you're going to get from being here, even without and this is outside of NIL, outside of collective, what you get being a walk-on here doesn't compare to getting a scholarship somewhere else. Like, you are literally learning from somebody in every room that has been a professional, and not just a professional, but Gold Jackets, Super Bowls, Super Bowl coaches, Pro Bowls, like you name it. This staff, and I've said it before and I say it again, this is top staff in college football, man.
Right. Yeah, agreed. Like, I literally say this. I think I said the other day, like, you could 1,000% take this staff, replace the Colorado logo with an NFL logo, and nobody would say a word.
Yeah. Yeah. Chico, do that super chat again before we get out of here. I didn't get to say it. First of all, shout out to Lawrence RBE with the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate the love and support from the chat and everybody watching live with us on this Tuesday night. Where you tell me, Uncle Neely, Phillip, Dukes the Scoop, Big Dog Chico producing in the background. But this $4.99 super chat says, Neely, does Coach Prime continue to walk with the QB like we saw with Shador? Second question, how does it make you feel when you see reporters at press call Coach by name? First one first. Coach Prime has always said when he does that walk, he's walking down the field with his son and then up the field with his quarterback. When Ryan Staub subbed in for Shador at the Utah game last year, they did not do the walk because to start the walk, it has to be a son going down and a player coming back. I don't know. There could be a one-direction walk in the future or no direction walk, but he has always made it clear that was a father-son moment before the game started, before he had to flip the switch and become coach. And one of the things he keep on saying this year is that the burden of having to wear both hats has been a blessing to have removed, and now he can just focus on being a head coach and not a dad as well. As far as reporters calling him by the first name, you see less and less of that in the press conference now because they done got their hands popped enough for question not answered that they don't do it. Now, when the show is over and they go get their own thing, they say Dion, and when I hear it, they get a little note from me. I don't mind telling it. I be that little kid with the orange belt around his chest when the teacher lead take names. Oh, I'm gonna tell it. Hey, coach, I watched that dude podcast last night. He called you Dion 100 times. I bet he won't say it to your face. Then want to say they ain't mean it that way. When you don't call Nick Saban, you call him Coach Saban.
Right.
Now you want to call this dude Dion. What's the difference, I wonder?
Right.
Chiquita Williams dropped $10 on us. We appreciate that. Ad Walk with the $9.99 coming in. Appreciate that. Hey, man, y'all know the deal. It has been You Tell Me live. We got the morning run coming at you. We got Uncle Chico live on Thursday night coming at you. We got the morning run on Friday coming at you. And just because it's next week is spring break, don't mean we ain't letting up. We got more and more coming next week, special guests all week long. So make sure y'all stay tuned to all the channels. Like, share, and subscribe to all the networks. Big Dog Chico channel, Dukes the Scoop channel, and the Pregame Network. You won't miss a damn thing. Dukes, as we always do, positivity time. Take us out of here.
Man, birds of a feather flock together. How simple is that? How many times have you heard it? But you got to dig into it a little bit. If you don't like your circumstance, turn around and look at who's next to you, and you'll find out where to attack first if you want to change it.
Just hit the beat, Chico. Just hit the beat. Just hit the beat.
Figure this out. Like help me out. I'm trying to understand.
Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all.
So that's the name of this partnership. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, I like that. Miss New York Finest said, Uncle's the realer for me, not fuck it. I don't tell it.
You tell me.
I will tell it.
You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live.